That's right, ladies and gentlemen. It is Commissioner Cooper, and sadly, we've come to the end of the road to the NFL season. Most of you, of course, aren't playing fantasy today, but we'll have some ultimate DFS lineups to throw at you today if you want to make some daily money. Of course, Ariel will be in with some prop bets, and we got to finish making our picks for the season. We appreciate you finishing out the season with us. It's time for TSS Fantasy. It's time for TSS Fantasy. Fantasy. It's time for TSS Fantasy. Fantasy. It's time for TSS Fantasy.
You know, the great thing about being a football player is you don't have to take a shower to go to work.
There it is.
And then the great thing of being on TSS is you don't even have to show up to work. All right, well, let's get things started this morning. We're missing two of our cohorts on our final show of the season. That's the fitting way to end it, isn't it, Greg? Welcome into the studio, OJ. The juice is loose. Mayor, welcome in, my friend.
Good morning, man. I had to make it for the last show. Are we surprised with Freddie? Like, really, are we surprised? Like, this has been going on all season long. I know he's up in New England supporting our hapless Jets, but come on, Fred. You could at least
You have to give Fred a little credit, though. I mean, all the way in Boston, it's cold. And he's still up there trying. I don't know what he's doing for you boys. David D in the house. Welcome in, my friend. Thanks for finishing out the season here with us. We appreciate you. All right, well, we got to get things started today. Like I said, we got a lot to go over, but again, a lot of you aren't during the fantasy seasons are over. For some of us, for most of us is what I meant to say. Let's pay the bills real quick. Of course, tssfantasy.com. We got all of our latest and greatest and stuff up there, so make sure you check us out there. If you're watching on YouTube, do us a solid, hit the subscribe button, hit a like, hit a comment. Little things stopping you from doing it. Big things popping for us when you do. We appreciate you. Underdog Fantasy. Again, great stuff for daily fantasy props and all that kind of good stuff. Again, promo code TSS will double deposit up to $100. Pro Am Belts. It's fantasy bling time, ladies and gentlemen. It's the end of the season. You're looking for some bling, a ring, a belt. Do it. Go to Pro Am Belts today. Lots of great stuff for your fantasy champions. All right, as usual on a Sunday morning, as we get stretched out and wait for our cohorts to wake the hell up, let's start with the weather report.
It's time for the weather report.
I'm going to bring up yesterday's games right after we do the weather because I do want to talk about those real quick. Today's games, if you are, again, playing daily fantasy and or if your fantasy season for some reason goes into 2 weeks, today for dome games, weather will not be impacted with the Texans at the Colts, Vikings at the Lions, Falcons at the Saints, Broncos at the Raiders, Seahawks at the Cardinals, and Chiefs at the Chargers. So all those kickers and pass catchers won't be affected by the game today. All right, so going into some clement weather. Now, we saw the rain yesterday, how it affected the Steelers and Ravens game. That was, we'll talk about it in a minute, but that was like literally like AFC North. Like that's how you picture it, like, forever and a day. Speaking of the AFC North, though, Browns at the Bengals today, 40 degrees. There is a slight chance of rain as well. Winds there expect to be 13 miles an hour. Jags at the Titans, 47 degrees there. It's mostly cloudy. Winds there at 12 miles an hour. Jets at the Patriots. Now, Fred's going to check in live here from New England here soon, so I would like to see what the weather is currently. But from what it says definite snow, winds up to 20 42 miles an hour. Freddie, I hope you brought something to keep yourself warm today. And then also to keep your heart warm after you lose. Bucks at the Panthers, 52 degrees, clear skies, winds 14 miles an hour. Bears at the Packers, 35 degrees, mostly cloudy, winds at 8 miles an hour. There goes our dream of some snow at Lambeau to close out. Eagles at the Giants, also chance of snow, obviously still up in the New York area. Winds there also 8 miles an hour. Rams at the Niners, 53 degrees, clear skies, winds are 13 miles an hour. Cowboys at the Commanders, 45 degrees, partly cloudy, winds up to 14 miles an hour. And then we close out this script with a perfect ending. The Blue Devil Bills going to America's team, the Miami Dolphins tonight, 68 degrees, chance of a thunderstorm, and winds up to 12 miles an hour. I cannot wait for that. Obviously, we'll be heading down there about 1 o'clock today, so it's going to be a fun day down in Miami. All right, well, it looks like Jesus Herrera has decided to join us. Look at this mustache. He is ready to rumble in his 10th season. Welcome in, my friend.
Hey guys, how's it going? Yeah, I think I've officially entered myself into the police academy with this mustache right here. It's any day now that I will be joining the force because this mustache is way too good to not be on the streets. But anyways, guys.
You got me nervous, Justin. I'm ready to give you my license and registration.
It's cool. I know you. I'll turn on the lights, but I ain't gonna give you a ticket.
I was thinking police or porn, one of the two.
Oh,
sure.
Hey, either way, I'm getting lucky, right?
All right, well, let's real quick before we get into our this week's Sunday's Ultimate DFS lineups. Let's talk real quick about yesterday's games that obviously took place. Like we had mentioned, the AFC North battle between the Ravens and the Steelers. Ravens didn't have much to play for. In fact, they had nothing to play for. Steelers fighting for their playoff lives, looking for a glimmer of hope. Obviously, there's all kind of scenarios that would got them in, but they needed to win was the first thing. And we got a sloppy AFC North prototypical game. As far as fantasy-wise was concerned, nobody did anything crazy except Najee Harris, which is really ironic since, he didn't do shit all year. Deontay Johnson did get one big catch. He had finished with 4 receptions, 89 yards, and a touchdown. So obviously I'm down here in Florida, and you can see we're starting to get some wins kicking up already down here. All right, so what do you guys think of last night? We'll just kick it around. The Steelers-Ravens, just quick reactions. Justin, go to you first. Reactions from last night.
Yeah. So I was at a pool hall watching that game. I was with my wife, and she was like, "Is this like live?" And I was like, "Yeah, it's live." And she's just like, "Wow, like the Pittsburgh Steelers are beating the Ravens." And I said, "Yeah, Lamar Jackson isn't in. Some of their starters are sitting." She's like, "Oh, so this isn't as impressive as it looks." And I was just like, "Yeah, babe, it's really not as impressive as it looks." And that's kind of what I took away from the game. I took away from the game, if the Pittsburgh Steelers make it into the playoffs, then, nobody's got easy wins, but that'll probably be as easy as it gets as far as whoever plays them in the first round, especially TJ Watt, suffering a third degree, grade 3 MCL sprain. Not good. So yeah, that was kind of like my main takeaway from that game is Pittsburgh, you did your job, but you really did not make it look good.
Okay, David's taking offense. I said we beat Lamar earlier this season, so they said it don't matter. Justin taking a little offense to that. Greg, got any reaction from last night?
Yeah, I mean, like David said, they did beat Lamar early in the season, but that's not the Lamar that's playing now. Like Lamar that's playing now is MVP Lamar, but I'll still be kind of scared to play the Steelers in the playoffs, man. That's Mike Tomlin. Mike Tomlin been around the block for a minute. He knows how to coach his players up. So I would be scared to play Pittsburgh in a way because Pittsburgh is going to bring it every day. But that game, like you said, Jason, earlier, that's a typical AFC North game in the rain, low scoring, hard hitting. Like, I wish Lamar and the other starters played because you would have really seen a better game. But it was a good game to watch. It was fun. It was in the rain. It was a good game to watch.
It was, like I said, prototypical. That's what you expect. Hard hitting, the rain. Gotta love it. Speaking of weather, I mentioned it earlier. The live report from Boston. Here he is. The jester.
Dude, it is nasty out here. Look at this craziness. Hell yeah, man. I guess we're going to go watch this game. 5-7 inches of snow. And man, it's going to be terrible with winds of at least, 20 miles an hour? I'm sure Jay will get to that in the weather report. Yeah, man, it's cold, man. It's really cold. I'm cold.
He is out in the elements already, ladies. This guy is ready to rumble indeed. Fred, thanks for joining us this morning. When you need to go, just go ahead and take the hell off. It's all good, Fred.
No, I'm gonna be here for the whole show. We're going to send Belichick off with the last loss. Let's go.
Got some
Let's
crown in your
hit it.
pocket, Fred? You got some crown?
Oh, dude. Oh, yeah, please. That's
He said, please.
He's going to need a few hits of crown for sure, especially while in the game. He needs to warm himself up a little bit for sure. All right, well, let's talk about the other game last night, the Texans and the Colts. Man, what a way to start things off for C.J. Stroud, that first play. I was literally got out of my chair when I was like, yes, first play. I was excited for him. That was really cool. This Texans team, I think, Greg, we talked right before the show. You had mentioned, this is one of those teams, keep it together. They're young, very talented. Future really is high for them. And now into the playoffs they go. What do you think? What did you think of last night's game? Any expectations for you, Greg, for the Texans going into the playoffs?
I mean, C.J. Stroud showed who's the rookie of the year, I think, last night, man. He came to play. But like I said earlier, like, if they keep this team together, Tank Dell, Nico Collins, Stroud, man, they're going to be problems for years to come. Even in the playoffs this year, that defense is DeMarco got that defense playing well. That offense, like, that's a scary team to face in the first round, man. Like, to prepare for CJ. They run the ball not extremely well, but well enough to keep you on your toes. But that's going to be a team to watch for in the future and in the playoffs.
Yeah, Singletary and Pierce, nice little thunder and lightning combo. Fred, what do you think? Any expectations for the Texans going forward?
I mean, any expectation. Hello? All right. Any expectation that I think has been surpassed already. I mean, I just go back to the draft and think about what they did when they picked up C.J. Stroud and then they moved up again for the defensive line. So, I mean, by doing that move, what's his name again? I'm sorry, I don't have everything in front of me. Will Anderson. So, not only did they get their starting quarterback, they have a cornerstone on defense for the future. I mean, their future looks bright. They're good to go. I mean, hey man, I wish we had a quarterback hotel tandem like that for years to come.
Damn. All right, let's go to Justin. What do you think, my friend? Any reactions? What are your expectations? Think Texans can get past first round?
Yeah, it's gonna be a tough game for whoever draws the Texans. And it's going to be even tougher if they got home field advantage because they still can get it this week. If the Jaguars lose, they win the division. So, yeah, I mean, that's one of those teams where they just, to use an old adage, they just don't know what they don't know. So they don't know that they're supposed to lose. So why are they going to lose? They're not going to come in with a loser's mentality like, oh, yeah, like a Minnesota Vikings where, oh, we made it to the playoffs, but we're not supposed to be here. They don't know that. And D'Amico Ryans for sure is not going to fucking put that in their ears. He's going to say every one of those motherfuckers out there is doubting you. Go show them what's up. And C.J. Stroud is the type of guy to go show him what's up. So I'm excited to see who the Texans draw because I think it's going to be a hell of a matchup. If it's one of those division leaders, I would be sweating bullets right now.
Yeah, and one thing I will say, my two takes from last night was one, man, it would have been really cool if Anthony Richardson would have been, healthy all season to see both of these two go at it for that final spot. That would have been really cool. And it'd been interesting to see how it played out. And then my second take is me and my son are watching that game last night, And I'm like, I like the Texans, and I like the way they look, with the young, and they're exciting. So I'm sitting here like, yeah, and I'm pulling for him. And then he just whispers in my ear, and he's like, we really should probably pull for the Colts because we don't want to play the Texans. I'm like, oh my God, you're so right. Come on, Garner. Come on, Garner. All right, let's get on to some ultimate DFS lineups.
My final meeting with the gods from the heavens above, as they spoke to me and hit me with the power of the ultimate warrior. You can feel it, dude.
You can feel it indeed. It's our last ultimate DFS lineup for the season. Gonna miss it. Gonna miss it indeed. Let's start with our winner from last week who chimed in the new year, and it was not you, Greg. It was our ultimate champ for the whole season, our boy Justin Drew Baker Mayfield, Big Dave, Brandon Ayuk, Zay Flowers, and I always call him Ray Rice, but it's Rashee Rice, Rice, whatever, 17.7. Texans too. Like, that was the funny thing when I did this. I even Mary Jane was sitting on the couch, and I said, man, Justin sat here and picked the Texans last week, and I'm like laughing, and like they were the number 1 overall defense last week. So good job there indeed. Can't pick an ultimate DFS lineup any better when you're picking the number 1 def on the cheap. Greg is in at number 2. Had a good week as well, so it wasn't like he came in as a slouch. Justin Fields, of course, he was, I think, number 2 or 3, or he was up there as one of the big QBs of the week. So great job there. Obviously, DJ Moore, one of the bigger weeks as well, with 30.9 points. And Jets actually came through a little bit. And, of course, Kenneth Walker. I, of course, showed why I just struggle at DFS lineups primarily this week. I thought Austin Eckler was such a great buy. Wow. Wonder why he was on the discount. I'm starting to see why. 4 damn points. Great job, bro. George Pickens, though, had a nice little surprise, 20.1. Michael Wilson, he was a great value at the very least for next week. So that means I'm writing bitch this week. So I will go first with my ultimate DFS lineup. Let's go here. And you know what? I know Greg's looking at this right now because I typed his. Ours is very similar. In fact, we are all in line with this QB for the ultimate DFS final lineup this week. Kyler Murray, we all like him this week. Going against Seattle, I like the matchup in general. I think this game, if I was still playing fantasy, I would definitely want something in this matchup. You could definitely see both these defenses aren't that great. You could see a little back and forth, air it out a little bit. So I like both QBs actually in this matchup. Aaron Jones, excuse me, this week. I like going against Chicago, 25th against fantasy running backs. Green Bay still got a little bit to play for. Chicago does not. Like to see Aaron Jones finish out the season with a decent day. Ezekiel Elliott against the Jets. Jets are vulnerable to the run, and look, as Fred is showing you right now, they're not going to do much throwing today, I don't think, up in New England. So you don't see a lot of running. So you got to get that running back in there. It's going to get the pill a lot, and I like Ezekiel Elliott in that spot. Calvin Ridley today in a game the Jags must have. I like for them to get to their best playmaker on the field at Tennessee. They are 25th against fantasy receivers. We know their secondary soft. I like that a lot. Brandon Cooks. This is also a common theme for our ultimate DFS lineups. He's been a great value the last few weeks, and today at Washington, who is 31st against fantasy receivers. It's a great matchup and a great play. I got, of course, big play Gabe against America's team. Xavier Howard hurt. I could definitely see Eli Apple giving up the business to big play Gabe tonight. This is going to be a shootout, unfortunately. God, I just making my stomach's already sick. All right, let's get to the rest of my lineup here. Kenneth Walker in the flex spot. Again, Arizona dead last against fantasy running backs, but I mentioned earlier, I just like anyone in the matchup. Kyle Pitts, he's been, helter-skelter a little bit the last few weeks, though, and come on a little bit. So New Orleans, 23rd against tight ends, could be a good matchup. And I'll finish it up, of course. There's no better way to put your defense in than
Wow.
going against the worst offense in the league
Wow.
with the Patriots in a game that's nothing but weather. I mean, it just makes sense, right? All right, Greg, talk about your ultimate DFS lineup.
Well, I mean, you got a lot of the same players. So
It's so true.
I'm not gonna talk about Kyler Murray. I'm not gonna talk about Gabe. Nico Collins got me off to a great start yesterday. But Brees Hall is go there. Like you said, the weather's gonna be nasty in New England. They gotta run the ball. I think Brees is the best player on the field when it comes to the offensive side of the ball. So I'm gonna go with Brees. Javonte Williams will be facing the Vegas defense that is ranked 22nd against fantasy running back. So I think Javonte will have a decent game. Brandon Cooks you spoke about, Gabe Davis you spoke about. So the same thing with Gabe. I think Gabe is going to have that game is going to be a shootout. So Gabe's going to have he's one of those up and down roller coaster type of players, and I think this is one of those high games he's going to have. Brandon Cooks we already spoke about. I like James Conner in this matchup with Kyler Murray, so I went with the stack there. I think with Seattle being 30th ranked against fantasy running backs, Connor at that $6,000 mark was not a bad pickup. I picked the Texans defense, even though they already got me only 4 points. But hey, I still got a lot of players left. And I like Kraft out of Green Bay. Him and Jordan Love have a connection. It's been working the last couple of weeks. So I'm going to ride the hot hand and keep that going. So that's my fantasy lineup. Hopefully, I score more points than Jason, but Jason has the same players as me, so it's gonna be tough.
Just a couple difference.
There's a couple.
Yeah, I like the Nico Collins since he already played. All right, Justin, what say you, my friend? Give me your ultimate DFS lineup.
Don't worry, Greg. I did that too, Nico Collins. I thought he was going to be playing on Sunday and not Saturday, but he still went off. So Greg's off to a great start. I'm going to stick with it. Unanimous. Kyler Murray is the guy today. After last week, that explosion game against Philly, then you got a division game, and you got a game against the team that's allowing the most rushing yards to a quarterback with a mobile quarterback. As Jason would say, hello. That's just a perfect matchup right there. Then I'm going to go with Elijah Mitchell. No Christian McCaffrey today. Elijah Mitchell, whenever he's on the field and not injured, is actually a fantastic running back, and he should be a fantastic DFS play. It's the only place he should be played because he's on a game-to-game basis every single week. Zamir White, I just love what he's doing out there. There's no playoff push for the Raiders, but they're kind of, figuring out if they want to roll with Zamir White maybe the rest of the way because, Josh Jacobs' contract is up this season. So there might be a point where Zamir White becomes the guy and they move on from Jacobs. Who knows? Tune into the offseason. Then we got Brandon Cooks. I love this game. I think this is a redemption game for the Cowboys. Last year, they were kind of like, man, we're going in with the same kind of look. Like you win, you have a shot at the title. But this is if they win, they get the title. I think they take this very seriously. And I think Brandon Cooks has one of those days just because Washington's going to probably be all over CeeDee Lamb. Still probably not going to cover him, but maybe Brandon Cooks goes off and gets himself a big game. Then we got DK Metcalf and Michael Wilson, same game. Michael Wilson last week showed us a lot. And I think they showed enough to be like, hey, this is going to be somebody to look at in the future. I hope they do because the kid looks really good. I'm like, yeah, mute Jester. Damn it, Fred. But and then DK Metcalf. I mean, if you're ever talking about, like we were talking about Brandon Cooks having a game, but a send-off game, I think DK Metcalf's just going to murder the freaking Arizona secondary. I think he is pissed off that he's not being talked about in the playoff picture right now. Seattle's effectively eliminated, and they're going to just go off on Arizona. I'm just hoping that Arizona reciprocates and does the same thing. My flex this week is not a tight end, which is unusual because if you've been following, it's been mostly tight ends. I'm going with Terry McLaurin. He is the Cowboy Slayer. He is the one guy that every year, 2 games a year, he goes for like 40 points against the Cowboys secondary. I love the play, and I think at 5,500 it is an absolute steal. Let's go, Terry McLaurin. Let's get that final game for Ron Rivera to be proud of. Trey McBride, I'm just rolling with the Cardinals stack this week. I don't know if you guys noticed. That Cardinal stack is on fire. That's right. Trey McBride, I love it. I think he could easily wind up with, 7 catches today, and that's perfect for me in PPR. And then the Raiders defense. I mean, the Raiders defense has been, probably the most consistent thing in fantasy for the past 3 weeks or so. They've been consistently doing strong stuff, getting after the quarterback, getting fumbles, interception returns on Mahomes. Love that. Fumble returns. Got to just, I'm rolling with them. This is a Denver team that doesn't know what they're doing. Sean Payton is, I don't know if he's losing the room because they won, but he's definitely losing some of the locker room because of the way he treated Russell Wilson. I think the Raiders pull it off, and Antonio Pierce gets his job. Give this man the job. He deserves it.
I love it. Yeah, he does deserve it, and he's done a great job with that organization. All right, our final day to get paid in the regular season. We got to bring our expert in the house. It's time for Ariel. Fatten those stacks.
Ladies and gentlemen, get ready to fatten your stacks with Ariel.
Welcome in, Miss Ariel. We appreciate you finishing out the season with us.
Thank you. Thanks so much for having me on.
Thank you so much for being here. You have to excuse, it's storming behind me, so if my curtain here goes over my head and all kind of craziness happens, you'll know why anyway. But welcome in. Let's get paid for our final day. What can we do to do it?
All right. Well, let me first start off with saying I'm so excited about the upcoming football today. My current NFL ROI is sitting at 39.8%. So I'm hoping to hit the 40 today, and that's my goal. This is like unheard of in Las Vegas professional handicapping. No one's hit 40%. That's my goal today. I want to hit the 40% ROI.
We believe in you. I mean, you've been killing it on our show all season. That's all I know. So we believe in you. We're going to hit it today.
Thank you. So let's start with the Bucks versus Panthers game. I have 4 props in this game, so a lot of action going on here. I like Chris Godwin over 4.5 receptions. Shad White over 21.5 receiving yards. And Baker Mayfield over 1.5 touchdowns, and his passing and rushing yards to go over 232.5.
I like it.
Now moving on to the Vikings versus Lions game. I like Goff to go over 211.5 passing yards, and I like Chandler under 43.5 rushing yards. Now, in the Eagles versus Giants game, both of my props are on the Giants today. I like Taylor over 0.5 an interception. And I also like Slayton over 43.5 receiving yards. In the Bears versus Packers game, I like Justin Fields over 26.5 passing attempts. And in the Bills versus Dolphins game, I like Diggs over 5.5 receptions. This is my favorite prop of the day. Oh no. Oh no. Controversial. But this is my favorite prop of the day, so I'm feeling really confident about this one.
Oh, great. I'm glad you're feeling confident about that one. Great. No, I appreciate you. Listen, we appreciate you coming on. Thank you so much for that.
Wait.
You got no one? Sorry.
I have 2 more.
All right, my bad.
Okay, I also like Kincaid over 3.5 receptions. And I also, I know this is so controversial, but I also like Tua Tagovailoa under 23.5 completions.
Under? I mean, what is going on here? This is crazy. No, it's fine. Whatever. All right, Miss Ariel. I guess thanks for giving me some bad news before we do our picks. Now, where can we follow, subscribe, get all your great content? As I always say every week, you do more than football. We are getting into the playoffs, so of course. And for a programming note, we will be having a Super Bowl special. And, of course, hopefully Miss Ariel will join us then. We'll have lots of prop bets to talk about then as well. But where can we follow, subscribe, and get all of your great content?
Absolutely. I always post all of my plays before the games on TikTok at Ariel Callista. And of course, my website, arielcallista.com. I have a free email where I post a lot of information in NCAA, NFL, MLB is coming up. So I'll be getting into that a lot. NHL, all the interesting line movements across the leagues, how Las Vegas is reacting to them, where the pro versus the Joe money is. And of course, like a free picture of me. And I've also been adding some fun extra elements into my emails using AI. So since I've been really getting involved in AI and how it can improve sports wagering, I wanted to use AI to help improve my emails. So my emails are free. They're every day, no days off, and they're really fun. So make sure to join. It's completely free by adding your name to the Stay in Touch box at arielcallista.com.
Don't cost you nothing. Takes 2 seconds. Helps our girl out. Really easy. David D letting you know. Sign up for those emails. And he also is letting us know she came to smash my dreams. Thanks a lot, Ariel. No, I'm just with you. Thank you for your contributions all season long. We appreciate you so much. We'll see you back on Super Bowl Sunday. I'll be excited for that. We'll send. We are super excited. Thank you so much. Hope everything is well for you and your family for the upcoming 2024 year. It's time for us, however, to do our final Sunday picks. So here we go. Thank you, Miss Ariel.
Thank you.
We're on a mission, guys. We're on a mission, guys.
And look at us. Here we are right where we belong. And look at these results. Okay, from last week, some of us were ringing in the new year while others were bumming it out together as the after party. 12-4 for Greg, finishing up strong. 11-5 for the Jesta. And 10-6 for me and Justin. We both did a few lone wolfins last week. So, sometimes those come in, sometimes they do not. Now, interesting going.
Rough night, man.
Interesting things going on. However, let's look at the overall standings. We have a 3-way tie after last week, and Greg is 1 game out. Now, we did have 2 Saturday games. So right now, as the standings are, as we currently speak, I'm up by 1. Greg is in second, and Justin and Fred are bringing up the rear right now. I'm actually a little surprised that you guys went Ravens yesterday. I wanted to talk to you guys about that. I was a little surprised by that. You guys knew they were sitting their starters. I was like, why are these guys going? I just didn't get it. But whatever. It is what it is. All right, you're on mute, Dustin. I know you're trying to say something. Sorry, I didn't hear you.
Ravens to me look better with their backups.
Yeah, unfortunately, we didn't have a show to talk about that. So, you know what I mean? I was wondering when I saw that, I was just like, wow, bro. Have it be known, we haven't lost against Lamar since 2019. He is really on there, right? David's on this, right? Big time. Hey, maybe you guys make it past the first round and knock him out. Yeah. I mean,
David, I didn't mean to hurt your feelings, bro. Don't worry about it. I'm just a measly bird lawyer over here with an opinion.
See, he follows up with, that's what you get for going Ravens. Like he's all over you guys this morning. All right, let's go. Let's get the rest of these picks in. Finish this season up, fellas. All right, we got Jags at Titans to start with. Titans lead the series 34-24. It's been 3 in a row for the Jags, and they won back in November 34-14. Jags are favored by 3.5. The over-under is 41. Justin, what say you? Who you like?
Jaguars. I'm going to go with the Jaguars on this one. It's the epitome of a must-win because you literally need to win this game or else you're out. So I think that Doug Peterson will have these boys ready to go, and I think they'll win this game.
Nice. Let's go to Fred next. On mute you so we're not echoing.
Yeah, same thing as Justin. You have to go with the Jaguars. It's a must-win game. You lose this to the lowly ass Titans, you're out the playoffs. So yeah, you have to be ready. You have Trevor Lawrence. You have everything you need. ETN. Let's go.
I like it. What say you, Greg OJ?
Jags all day. They got more on the line. They playing for more. They need it. You got your number one quarterback. You got your running back, your receiver. Everybody's going. You need to win or you're out. That's it. That's it. Bottom line. Need to win.
David D, I agree with you. You can't count out Vrabel at home. I mean, the guy is a proven winner from the Belichick tree, but I am gonna go hammering that thing now with the boys on this one. We all like the Jags in this particular matchup. All right, let's get to the next one here. We got, excuse me, the Vikings at the Lions. The Vikings lead the series 80-42-2. It's 2 in a row for the Lions. They won back in December, 30-24. The Lions are favored by 3.5, over under 45.5. Fred, we'll go to you first on this one. Who do you like?
I like the Lions. They're just an all-around better team. I mean, they're just superior in every way. They got their starting quarterback. They got their wide receivers going. I mean, it's just a better team, and I think Detroit pulls it out. They want to prove something for these playoffs that they're not no slouch. So I think they're going to play really well today.
David D, I just wanted to say, don't worry, I got your back tonight. Get those Steelers in the playoff. Greg, what do you say?
Lions, man. They're playing to show that they belong. And they need to win this game to say, hey, we're coming into playoffs and we're about to make some noise. So the Lions need to win. Minnesota got to retool, get a quarterback for next year. Running back, they got a lot of stuff they got to fix over there. The Lions coming through with the victory.
Justin, what do you say?
Yeah, the Lions are actually still playing for that number 2 seed. If so happens Dallas loses, they can still get it. So I think that the Lions, regardless, are going to play most of their guys for the game. And if it's Minnesota of last week, it's just going to be dreadful. So, yeah, I'm going to go with the Lions.
All right, so I have to admit I fucked up here because I thought for some reason, I don't know where I heard it, that the Lions didn't really have shit to play for. So I lone wolf this bitch and went Vikings. I'm going to stick with it. Ow! Let's go. I don't really think they're going to win, but since I fucked up, let it ride. Let's pray that fucking plays out for me. All right. And David said they also have an outside shot at the 2 seed, so he's concurring with it. All right, let's get on with the next matchup. Falcons at the Saints. Falcons lead the series 55-54. Can't get any closer than that. Falcons one back. I put one back. I don't know. I guess I missed whenever the hell it was back. In week something, 24-15. The Saints are favored by 3, and the over/under is 42. Greg, who you like?
This one was a tough one for me, man, because this division is just straight trash, man. And I'm like, who do I pick? They're both playing for something. So pride. You're at home. You're in front of your fans. You're not going to go out with an L. So I picked the Saints.
Justin?
I don't know if I'm lone wolf in this thing, but I'm picking the Falcons. This just, I don't know, the perfect mixture right here. Derek Carr blows big games. The Falcons win weird games. And, Arthur Smith somehow fighting for another year at the helm. Something tells me that he gets this game and he gets a shot at the division, and Arthur blanks out on the whole season and says, oh, yeah, give that guy another shot. But something tells me that's exactly what's going to happen in this game. And like I said, I know Derek Carr. Derek Carr blows big games. He's not good in them.
David said Falcons still win that division with the win. A little too sloppy for him. Fred, who you like?
Sorry, I made him.
Yeah, I went with the Saints. Like Greg said, they're at home. But I had to say who was the best player on the field for both teams. It was Alvin Kamara. I have to pick the winner. I'm going to pick the home field advantage. I'm going to go with Saints.
All right, Justin, take a breath and get ready to lone wolf it because you are our lone wolf in this matchup. I agree with our boys here. I like the Saints at home in this one, although both teams are about as sloppy as you can get. Speaking of sloppy, he's up in the slop himself right there. Jets at the Patriots. Patriots lead the series 74-54-1. Patriots, we've talked about it last time, 15 in a row, 23 out of the last 25. And of those 2 wins that the Jets got, they were both in OT. Patriots won in September 15-10. Patriots are favored by 1.5. The line is 30.5. Justin, who do you like?
Man, yeah, I felt confident about my pick, and then I realized who Greg picked, and I was like, "Oh shit!"
Who thought I was going to pick? Like, really, Justin? Who you thought I was going to pick?
What? You have been so 50-50 all year long. Don't even lie.
I ain't picking the Patriots. I can't. I can't do it.
I'm going to pick the Jets. Beat the streak. Kick the old man out of his own house. Jets. Let's go, Jets. I'm going to lose this whole thing. I know it.
I mean, and listen, I'm always nice to Freddie when he's visiting. I like the Jets too in this matchup in this sloppy game. Fred, who you like?
He's on mute.
Yes, Jets. Yo, let me tell you something. We have first time and last time ever coming to Boston. I'm gonna tell you that to be honest, but we have to do this game. It is cold out here and it is fucking boring to be honest with you. But I'm gonna pick the Jets. We're gonna run the ball. Brees Hall is gonna be the best player on the field for both teams and the defenses as well. So let's go Jets. You better check out on his ass. Last game of the season. Let's go.
Fred, how you didn't go to Freedom Trail? How do you say Boston's boring?
I did. Yo, dude, it's boring, dude.
It's
boring.
It's a great food. I absolutely enjoyed my time in there. All right, OJ the Juice. You know what? In fact, let's just call him Captain Flip Flop. Who you got this week?
Let me tell you something, Jason. You and Justin going to stop the disrespect this week. It's the last week of the season. You're going to stop it. You know what my mindset was. But I can never fix my face to pick the Patriots over my Jets. Brees Hall, Garrett Wilson, we're going out on top. We're sending Bill Belichick out of the AFC on his ass. Let's go, Jets. We're going to win this. End of the dynasty today. It starts today. Let's go.
Hammer
Flip the
it
coin.
down.
He flipped the coin.
He did. Captain Flip Flop. I should just next year he'll just put a flip flop for his face. All right, let's go. Bucks at Panthers. Panthers lead the series 25-21. Bucks have won 2 in a row. They won back in December 21-18. They won 4 out of the last 5. Bucks favored by 4.5. The over under is 37.5. Let's go to Fred first on this one. Who you like?
Gotta go with those Bucks, man. They're playing for everything. They're playing for the division. They're playing for the playoffs. You got Baker playing. He playing for something meaningful after all these years of being downed and talked about and shitting on. I mean, everything right now is being played for the Bucks by the Bucks. We're going with the Bucks.
Even David recognizes Captain Flip Flop. Sorry, Falcons. Y'all do your job, but so do the Bucks today. I'm not going to waste our time in this one, even though it's the last show. We don't need to waste time with this one. Hammer that thing down on the Panthers. We all like the Bucks, and great job once again, Baker Mayfield. Been shouting him out every week. I mean, it's been a great year for Baker for sure.
And for his future.
Browns at the Bengals. So the Bengals lead the series 52-48. Browns won back in September 24-3. Bengals are favored by 7, and the over-under is 37.5. Greg, who you like?
See, these are one of those games that was like hard to pick because we know the Browns are going to be resting Flacco, Cooper, Ford, but the Browns, you know, they may still show up. But I picked the Bengals. I feel they're going to go out there, they're going to show their Bengal pride and pull out the victory over their rival. So I'm picking with the Bengals because the Browns are going to be sitting every damn body.
How crazy is it that the words "they're going to be sitting Flacco" just came out of your mouth? I mean,
Sitting
how crazy,
Joe Flacco.
how crazy is that? Justin, what do you say?
Back on the couch.
Yeah, it's nuts. I'm going to go with the Browns today, and I think that the Browns defensively are going to be able to slow down Jake Browning. Browning's kind of like falling apart a little bit, and, you know, he's kind of like what a lot of people thought Brock Purdy was going to do after a couple games. Spectacular. They're just fall apart, and Purdy didn't do it, and Browning did. So, you know, I'm going to go with the Browns, giving them enough pressure and this being a really low-scoring game. I'm thinking 16-10.
Fred, who you like?
Got to go with the Brownies as well. I mean, I know they're going to be sitting some of their players, but you don't want to go into the postseason or the playoffs on a loss, and they got to go to somebody's house, play a good team. You want to keep some continuity and try hard and play hard. So I'm going with the Browns.
Me and Greg picked the same yesterday, and went 2-0. And in this one, we do it again. I like the Bengals as well. Again, it's hard to pick, as you mentioned, with teams sitting players. To me, when you're sitting, I'm just not really stressing it. Bengals got a lot to play for. Browns don't have a lot to play for. So I like the Bengals in the matchup. All right, let's go to Bears at the Packers. Now, the Packers lead this series 106-95-6. It's 9 in a row for the Packers, and they won back in September 38-20. They're favored by 3, and over-under is 45. Justin, who you like?
Go Pack, go. I think that Jordan Love has got something going. Bears have got something going too, but I think that the Bears are effectively eliminated, so I think the game will be felt. I think Matt LaFleur, is it Matt or Mike LaFleur? One of those two guys. Matt LaFleur will get these guys ready to go, and I think Jordan Love is on a high right now that'll possibly drive him to a playoff victory as well.
I like it. Don't waste time with this. Hammer that bad boy down. We all like the Packers in this one. Bears just been pitiful all season long, quite frankly. I've been playing better as of late, so I don't necessarily think the Packers are going to roll them. It's going to be a good game, but I still see the Packers, especially at home, finishing out strong. So that's why we all like Packers in this one. Let's go to another one. I don't think we need to waste much time on. Cowboys at the Commanders. Cowboys lead the series 77-48-2. Cowboys won back in November 45-10. The Cowboys are favored by 13. The line is 47. Fred, who do you like?
I like the Cowboys, even though this is a game that they would usually mess up because that's what they fucking do. Oh, sorry. But I'm going with the Cowboys. They want everybody to go through A&T Stadium to the playoffs. They have to win the game for that.
Yeah, we'll hammer that bad boy down. David, by the way, likes the Packers is a win and in. He likes them this week as well. Yeah, Cowboys, like I said, Washington been a hot mess. Cowboys have been that hot team. Like them to go big in this particular matchup. Let's go to Eagles at Giants. Eagles lead the series 93-87-2. 5 in a row for the Eagles. They won back on Christmas Day 33-25. Eagles are favored by 5, and the over-under is 42. Greg, who you like?
Listen, Eagles need this. They need it for their confidence. They need it to go into the playoffs. They need this win. It's the Giants. It's going to be a cold weather game. Jalen Hurts needs to step up, and A.J. Brown needs to stop crying. This is the time for y'all to step up and make it in the playoffs. I'm going with the Eagles.
I would thought we were hammering this one. Justin, are we?
Oh, fuck no. Are you kidding me? Those fucking Eagles, those pitiful birds, they look worse than the Seahawks right now. And the Seahawks are out of the playoffs. I'm going to go with the Giants. Weirdly enough, the Giants have been playing should have beat the Rams. Hold on. Yeah, there you go. And then at the end of the day, they've been playing some of their best football since Tyrod Taylor came over and took the spot from Tommy Cutlets. So I'm going to go with this miraculous win. The New York Giants, the city of New York is partying tonight because the Jets and the Giants are winning. Everybody is happy. Two big division rivals get beat for the New York teams today. Let's go, Giants. Hoorah!
Justin's in a New York state of mind.
I gotta say something to this. Imagine Jason hasn't been trying to avoid sleeping on the couch week in and week out, taking all these Eagle losses. How far ahead he would have been? Think about that.
But see, unlike Greg, I don't flip-flop. All right, let's get on to the next one. Seahawks at the Cardinals. Apparently, Seahawks are favored by 3. The over-under is 47.5. For some reason, I wrote the Titans and Texans stuff in here, so I don't even have any shit on this one. My bad. Justin, who you like in the matchup?
I like the Cardinals. I think the Cardinals, the Seahawks are another team barely hanging on by a thread, and I just don't like the way that thread's being cut right now. I think that the Cardinals are going to come in after that game against the Eagles, and they're really going to show out. And Seattle, like I said, worst team against rushing quarterbacks. What is Kyler Murray really good at? He's really good at, hey, I don't have an option. I'm just going to take a lane. So I think it's going to be a rough day for Seattle. I do think it's going to be the best fantasy game of the week, though. I think there's going to be a lot of points scored.
Yeah, I agree. This is that fantasy bonanza. David pointing out Seattle not out of it quite yet. Fred, who do you like?
I'm going with Seattle. That was the same reason I picked them over the Cardinals. They're not eliminated yet. They're still in the playoff hunt. They have everything to play for, more than what the Cardinals do. The Cardinals actually want to go down in the draft to a better draft position. So, yeah, let's go with Seattle. I think they're going to pull it off today.
I like it. Greg?
I follow my friend Freddie. We're going with Seattle. Like, they have more to play for. Geno Smith, Kenneth Walker, and DK. Let's go.
I'm with you. Getting up Justin Lone wolfing his way to the back of the line on the pick segment.
Either the back or the front.
That's what she said. Rams at the Niners. 49ers lead this series 76-68-3. It's been 3 in a row for the Niners. One back in September, 30-23. 49ers favored by 4, and the line is 41. Greg, who you like?
Who has the better backups? Niners. Going with the Niners. It's going to be a backup game. Nobody's playing their starters. Everything's set for these two teams. Oddly enough, I like Sam Darnold and Elijah Mitchell a lot more than Carson Wentz playing for the Rams.
Yeah. So, interesting. I already know who Justin likes, but go ahead and tell us why.
Oh, yeah, because the Rams suck. I was going to look it up. I think it's 11 regular season games in a row that, Kyle Shanahan has waxed Sean McVay. That lone playoff game has been the lone blemish for almost 6 years now. I think that schematically, Kyle Shanahan is trouble for this team. And I think that the one thing that the Rams could have done is kept Kyron Williams in there, and that would have swung my vote because he's such a good running back. But outside of that, no Kyron Williams, no Matthew Stafford, no Cooper Kupp. Seems like no problem.
We'll see a little puka that David pointed out today. I kind of agree with him, with David. I'm going to lone wolf this matchup from you guys. I like the Rams in an upset. We talked about backups. So, I mean, this is the game. If there's any kind of game the 49ers could lose, it'd certainly be this one with the backups playing the roles with not much to play for.
The ghost of Carson Wentz is still there. Like, where? God.
He's back. Chiefs at the chart. Don't forget, remember the resurgence of Baker Mayfield last year when he went to the Rams. Had a good game, all of a sudden went to another team. You just never know. I'm just saying, you just never know.
Last time that Carson Wentz played the 49ers in Washington, 2 interceptions.
Fair enough. All right, let's go to one we can hammer down. If the Chiefs at the Chargers. I don't even know what I'll really say of this game. It's pretty much the Chargers. We don't even need to go around the room. Honestly, go. I mean, the Chargers have given up. Chiefs, there's not much to play for, but still. Chargers are just that bad of a football team, which is just crazy to say. Look how much promise they have before the season. Jesus, please. All right, well, let's finish it up. The drama of the NFL season finishes down in America's team in Miami. Bills at the Dolphins. Dolphins lead the series 62-57-1. Now, the Bills have won 3 in a row. They've won 10 out of the last 11. They won back in October, 48-20. They're favored by 3. The over-under, is 48.5. Let's go to Greg first. Who do you like in the matchup?
It's really cool. You're gonna come to me first.
Yep.
You know who I picked. Buffalo. They're gonna go and break the hearts of Miami. You're not winning the division. You're gonna go on the road in the playoffs. You don't have one of your best corners. Friggin' Tyreek Hill's dealing with personal issues with his house on fire. You guys are not prepared. Josh Allen is coming in and gonna put a toe in the middle of the hearts of Dolphins fans.
Justin, what do you say?
Wow. Yeah. That was intense. I'm just gonna say this. I think the Bills definitely have the upper hand here. I think if the Dolphins had won one more game, it would have been all over. But at the end of the day, man, you let them get back into it. And now Judgment Day is coming. And either you're gonna pull it out like Sarah Connor or you're gonna get terminated. Because if they wax your ass, then playoffs, sorry, you're gonna be gone. But if you then there's some life there. So I'm gonna go with the Bills. I think they're gonna wax your ass again. I
thought Justin was gonna go with Jason and pick the Dolphins.
Fred, what do you like?
Listen, man, I got to go with the Bills. Which Josh Allen we're going to see? We're going to see Clark Kent or we're going to see Superman? I believe we see Superman. Like you said, Greg said a lot, man. Your team is in turmoil right now. If they were fully healthy, playing at home, then I would have swayed maybe to the Dolphins, but Bills all day. They're going to win the division too, which kind of sucks. But hey, I'd rather have a New York upstate team than the Miami Dolphins.
All right. Now that you guys are done.
Here we go. Get comfy, fellas. Get comfy
because I'm about to let you guys in on a little history and a little secret and let you guys know why we win today. The fact is, I'm going to take you back in the Wayback Machine. It was 1992. The Miami Dolphins had home field advantage throughout the playoffs. The AFC Championship game, they were double-digit favors over the Buffalo Bills. Guess who came to town? Thurman Thomas broke the single-season record for the most yards, most overall total yards, and, of course, they went off in victory. So, there's a lot of history here. There's a lot, right? And even under the perfect conditions, we blew it, right? And that is why today this is the game that turns this fucking organization. I'm about to throw my fucking computer. I'm going to throw this organization into a new level, ladies and gentlemen. We extinguish the Blue Devil today. I remember distinctly, there's one last little note. I have a nice sign that I've made for the end of this football game. You guys remember distinctly Josh Allen was down in Miami. I don't remember what year it was, a couple of years ago. Him and Christian Wilkins were jawing back and forth, and they won, and Josh had a little bit to say. He said, bye, Chris, bye. Well, I got a nice little fucking poster to tell Josh bye, because guess what? Jaguars win today. We win. The Buffalo Bills are out of the fucking playoffs. Period. That's how you extinguish the Blue Devil today. Kick them the fuck out of here. Y'all evil ass motherfuckers going with that stank ass nasty team. I'm like wolfing it. Miami Dolphins changed their culture tonight, ladies and gentlemen. All right. Now that I got that out of the way. All right, that was my end of season rant for Miami. Thank you. Appreciate that. I truly feel that way, though. I wasn't even rehearsed. I honest to God feel that way. That is honest to God.
I am crying in tears right
now. You could have cut a WWE promo, my friend. Good shit. Good.
It really feels, and again, no script, no nothing. That is from the heart, ladies and gentlemen. I truly feel that's going to happen today. I truly feel we're going to turn this organization around today. This is how you do it. You extinguish that Blue Devil and get them the fuck out of your way, period. All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we have come to the finale. It's the end of the regular season. We appreciate all of you guys hanging with us all season long. We will be back for the Super Bowl. We're going to do a Super Bowl special on Super Bowl morning. So please come back and see us then. We'll have lots of great stuff for you. Lots of great, usual TSS fantasy style stuff. It's going to be a lot of fun. Make sure you join us, and we'll have a lot of cast and crew joining us as well. Before we go off for our final fantasy Jesus. I'll kick it around the room, let everyone do their final sign-offs, of course. Fred, let's go to you first since you're all the way there. New England, final sign-off for the NFL season. And since we won't see you until then, let's get a Super Bowl prediction.
Prediction is going to be the Niners. I'm still going with the same as I said earlier in the season. Niners versus Chiefs, Super Bowl. So I just think it's going to happen again. I want to say thank everybody for watching us. Like always, it's always fun. Look out for my before and after the blizzard short today, before the game, after the game. See how I look. I might have hypothermia. And of course, I know we didn't get to give out the just the stacks the last couple of weeks yet. I still want to give it out to the fans who are always here watching us. So maybe we could do that on the Super Bowl show if that's okay. But other than that, thanks for watching, guys. It's been a great football season, and I'm sure we'll see you again next year.
Yeah, indeed. Hold on real quick. Let me mute you. What we'll do is I meant to talk to you prior, as that's what we'll do for those following along with us this season. We're going to give all that stuff away during our Super Bowl special, so it'll be something for else you to tune in. Give me another reason to tune in. But I do want to call you out. You didn't predict that shit, you lying-ass bitch. You said the Jets were going to win the Super Bowl, lying-ass motherfucker. I got receipts. Anyway, all right, let's go ahead, Greg. Go ahead.
I just want to say one thing to Fred before, because I beat Fred in our Dynasty Fantasy Bowl. It was a close game, but I got my first chip in the Dynasty Bowl, got my ring coming. Get me a nice size, Fred. Just wanted to say great game, but the champ is here. Just saying. Anyway, Super Bowl prediction. I forgot who I picked at the beginning of the season, but this year I want to say Baltimore and the Niners. And the Baltimore Ravens pull out a close victory over the Niners. Close.
I like it.
I think so. Listen, Justin, I'm rooting for the Niners, but the way Lamar's been playing, that dude is unstoppable.
I like it.
Put the receipts, Jason.
My heart's still flying out of the air because Greg ripped it out and threw it so far.
Well, I'll close out from my end and just say again, thank you all very much. We appreciate the TSS family, all of you guys that have been here all season long, commenting with us. Been a lot of fun. We're going to have lots of great fun next season as well, so stick with us. We'll get a lot more on social media next year. Kind of took a break from that, but next year we'll get a lot more back into that kind of good stuff. And I just want to say that my prediction certainly still can happen. I got America's team winning the Super Bowl, and I'm sticking with it. But I think they're going to play the Eagles because I am not sleeping on that couch, ladies and gentlemen. I've been stuck with that all season. I'm going to stay riding it. All right. Well, we appreciate you again, though. Again, stick us back. You're closing out, Justin. So I figured.
Yeah, but I'm closing out as a different personality. It's like
my bad. My bad. I thought you might do it at the end, but go ahead, my friend.
Oh, no, it's all good. It's all good. I didn't want to get the fans all confused, but now we've opened the door. Anyways, my Super Bowl prediction, I think Jason just didn't want to hear me rant about the 49ers for a second, is obviously the 49ers because that was my prediction from day one. Day one, San Francisco going to the Super Bowl and beating the Cleveland Browns. Because I do kind of like David said, Lamar has real trouble against the NFC or the AFC North. And I think he's got a head full of steam right now. I think it's going to taper off because I think Myles Garrett and Joe Flacco's coming for that redemption story, coming to tell Baltimore, you done fucked up by not taking me, and I'm going to take the Browns to the Super Bowl, motherfuckers.
I'm so glad we all did our little rants because I'm going to play that on our Super Bowl special, who we thought, and that little rant, of course, is going to play over nice, Justin.
Hey, it's going to look real good when the prediction comes true. That's for sure.
That's right. 100%. All right. We're going to close out our final show of the season. Of course, the way we always close out our Sunday shows because we can't get to church because it's too damn early. So, of course, we put our hands together and pray for Fantasy Jesus. Thank you guys so much. Enjoy the new year. We appreciate you.
I'm here to save your fantasy rosters.
I'm not sure who to start this week.
Trust in your Savior.
last week. I hope you are ready to get your lineups blessed. DFS wise, I hope we've won you a lot of money, and I know that you're all champions out there. So let's get into it. Let's start off with our quarterback. Let's go with Kyler Murray. As the boys said, Kyler Murray has been doing a fantastic job of rushing the ball, and he has been doing it in a high level last week against the Eagles. Not only was he a great rusher, but he was also a great passer. Kyler Murray seems to be getting right back into the thick of things, showing that he's the QB of the future. And the Cardinals are going to be looking to ruin Seattle's chances at the playoffs. Plus, Seattle is the worst team rushing yards against the quarterback. Looks like it's going to be a great day for Kyler Murray. Then we're going to go to our running back position. We're going to go with Zamir White. Now, you might not have heard of Zamir White, but for some of you champions, you know exactly who Zamir White is because he has helped you propel your team to a fantasy championship. Zamir White has been catching the ball as well as rushing it. This week, Josh Jacobs with the Raiders out of the playoffs is null and void and will be sitting again. So look out for Zamir White against the second worst team, Denver Broncos, against the rush. This year, they've been averaging 22 fantasy points to running backs. Look for Zamir White to have one last big game and try and show out for his team for next year. Next, we got the wide receiver position. We're going back to Arizona. I like me some Michael Wilson today. You know, Michael Wilson last week put on a big performance, catching 4 passes, 53 yards, and a touchdown. That was great for your fantasy roster, but you probably never even heard of him, so you probably never played him. This week, look out for him once again. Marquise Brown's on the IR. Trey McBride's heavily guarded. Look for Michael Wilson to have another great day against this very suspect Seattle secondary. Next, we're going to go to the tight end position. And you got to go with Old Reliable. In any given chance, Old Reliable is just always a good option. That's Evan Ingram. Evan Ingram is tight end 5 this year. 5 this year. And you know how many touchdowns he has? 3. That's because every single outing, he is catching at least 5 to 6 passes, and he's going for over 50 yards. Dude is just absolutely automatic at the tight end position, and he is also relatively still cheap because he doesn't have the touchdown upside. Look for him to be a big factor this week as Trevor Lawrence returns and be the big target that Trevor Lawrence needs to propel the Jaguars to the playoffs and the division title. And then finally, we're going to go with the Raiders as our defense. I just love the matchup against Denver. Denver is the type of team to give up 6 points and almost lose the game to the Los Angeles Chargers. So that tells me all I need to know about that team. I think that Sean Payton's going to go off with an L just like he should have done last week. And, you know, the Raiders are an up-and-coming team. This defense has never been strong, and now it's finally there. And you're going to want to get a piece of it because they got some attitude to them. They're picking off the ball. Max Crosby is a sack monster. And, I mean, he makes a damn good angel as well. So look at this as the week to finally put the Raiders defense in. 3,300 on DraftKings. That is just one hell of a steal. Once again, from us at TSS and your Fantasy Jesus, we want to wish you a great Week 16. Thank you for coming in. Thank you for tuning in every single week. And may your lineups be blessed.